Hi everyone, it's Meridy. I am back today with my 8th and final process video using the Open Skies kit. And as you may remember from my unboxing video, I pulled 9 sets of pictures this month to work with. So I never got to the pictures of the limbo or the pictures of my boys on this little carnival ride. So there are not going to be process videos for those 2 layouts. Because as I have mentioned in a few of my videos this month, I went and found a Girl Scout camp picture and pulled it because these really made me think of Boy Scout and Girl Scout camp a lot. Cub Scout and Girl Scout camp. And I really want to use these. Let's see here. I have this camping patch, but to me it kind of is screaming Cub Scouts more than Girl Scouts, so I might not use this. And then I'm gonna pull out all of these little ephemeras from the Fancy Pants line because I think that these are gonna go really well with this layout. And I know in my videos usually I come in here ahead of time and I have pulled just the items that I want to use, that I see myself using. I did not do that for this video because I just pulled this picture out now. Like I wasn't planning this picture from the very beginning when I did my unboxing. So I haven't even pulled pieces. And you guys, I still have like probably 100 pieces or more over here too. So I've got my stencil, I have my little alphabet stickers, I have a picture frame, another picture frame. This is just white paper. My stamps, and then I still have all of these too. So I just wanted to show you what I've got, which is a lot, and I've got all my mixed media over there. And this is such an old picture. It is from May of 2012, you guys. My little girl here was in kindergarten, and now she is just finished her first year of college. Wow, so that's a long time ago. And then I have my sequin mix and my pearl mix there. So I've got, of course, a lot of scraps. I've got my little color swatch here. I've got these awesome stickers that I really want to turn to. I've got my other summer stickers, although I probably am not going to use too many of these because I'm sticking with these more camp themed stickers. I probably won't use this paper. Not sure about that one. I don't think I'm going to use the map paper. I mean, maybe I could map my picture on yellow, but I think I want to mat it on like the daisy blue, like Girl Scout daisies, the little blue vest that she's got on there. We'll have to see. So, and I've got a ton of scraps in here too. But the idea that I had, well, first of all, this is a 5x7 picture. So I just want to trim it down a little just because it's very big. I'm going to trim it down to 5x5. And I know I'm cutting off, like I cut off a little bit of a truck and I cut off a little bit of a car and trees, but I think that's fine. I have a ton of pictures of this trip that are not even scrapbooked yet. And so cutting off a little bit of the edges isn't gonna bother me. And what I really wanna do is do that whole wreath look that is very popular right now. And I just wanna cover the whole wreath with the little words and bits. So I am going to grab a pencil and I am going to get something to trace a circle. I'm probably just gonna find, I know what I'm gonna use. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, this was a Creative Memories circle template to cut, but I'm gonna use it and trace the inside because that's about the size circle that I wanna make my wreath. Now, another option for this, which maybe I should have thought of before now, is I can cut this out and back it with a different paper. So it's not white in the middle. It will be like a solid color behind there. And I could just put all these, like they'll cover the edge, so you won't be able to see the edge. I mean, not necessarily these exact ones that I'm putting here, but you know, everything will cover the edge like this, and then it will be a different color paper in the middle. I think I am gonna do that. And I think I wanna get a light blue. The daisy blue color is more of a bright blue. Let me get a couple colors of paper to experiment. So I'm gonna go ahead here, back to the drawing board. Instead of tracing this, I'm gonna actually cut the circle out of the middle of this. So I will be right back. Okay, I've got my whole little circle cutting system here. This circle cutting system is from Creative Memories. It's old, like I've had this a lot of years. I don't even know if Creative Memories still exists, because they did and they didn't, and I don't know. So if I had a lot of people ask what system this was when I used it more recently on a layout, and it's Creative Memories, and I think you have to find it on like eBay or like a used scrapbook type of marketplace website, because I don't think that these are made anymore. So, but there's other ways to cut circles, you know, besides just this. This one is just real easy. Okay. And it's just what I have on hand. So I'm gonna pull back out that Miss Kate's smooth printed cardstock in the fruit stand, and I'll link this pack of paper in the description of this video, because as you saw in my earlier video this month, I decided to get this paper pack just to kind of see how it was and see if it is, because cardstock is getting a little harder for me to find, especially Joann's has closed and AC isn't putting out the amount of cardstock colors that they always had. Like, it's harder and harder to get cardstock. So this is a little thinner than Basil. It's about the thickness, maybe a little bit thinner than Echo Park paper, and it's only one-sided, but it has a great variety of colors. And it looks like it's textured, although it's not. I think I want to use this light blue color, because I'm usually about the lighter shades of things on my background paper. And then I am just gonna put this here. So it is gonna be the inside of my circle, but I'm thinking I should trim down my white paper so it is also a mat around my layout, and I think that will look really nice. So I'm gonna trim all 4 sides of this white paper about 1/4 inch and get it matted on that blue paper. And then if you wanted, you could pop this white paper with the circle up with foam tape, and then it could be a little bit dimensional, and so the background blue paper would like look like it's sitting behind it. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna mount it flush on my blue paper here. So let me get this mounted. Okay. Now, if I wanted, I could stick that photo kind of in there and wedge it. And then put the things. I think I kind of like that. Now, do I need to mat this photo? That's my next question. And I do have this piece of yellow paper that's already, you know, somewhat trimmed down. So if I wanted to mat it, I could mat it on a real thin piece of yellow. I might just do that. And I'm just gonna mat it on the thinnest little mat, because I don't want it to really be distracting. But it does add a nice little touch of color. Okay, and now I can come in with all of the things that make sense for this camping trip, which Into the Woods, Pine Woods Forest makes sense. Safety first, we didn't really use knives at this one. Fresh Breath, the little lantern, camper's lodge. I want to get some different colors, not all green too. We did not sleep in a camper. We slept in, oh my gosh, what are they called? Like little cabins. So I don't need the campers. We had flashlights. There was lots of trees. And then I love these flowers because we were the daisies, because we were the Daisy Girl Scout troop. So I think I can include the daisies on there. I think I can include that butterfly. I love these roses, and it's nice juxtaposition, like, because they're more realistic than all these other things. I'm going to keep them off to the side in case that's something that I want to pull in while I'm going. I don't need the toilet paper. And then these little tiny flowers, I think I can keep. That deer is not pretty. I don't like him. We did not have a forest fire then. The great or a campfire, a forest fire. Thankfully, there was no forest fire. A campfire, because there's such a huge danger of forest fires in the mountains, like we're in the desert and it's so dry that oftentimes fires are not allowed at the campgrounds. You have to have them like in a fire pit, not like a campfire, like, or in a, or sometimes I think you can't even have them at all, even if you have a fire pit. It's just the risk of forest fire is so great where we live, and it's so dry. So I think we roasted marshmallows at this trip on a stove, like on a gas camping stove, because we were not allowed to have a fire in the fire pit. Okay, and then I've got a lot of great things over here that I would really like to use. So I'm gonna just go ahead and cut them out because I don't want to stick them down because I'm not sure where they're going to be on here. As I'm going, I'm just laying things out around this circle, but I'm not spacing them right or putting the right colors next to what I might really want eventually. I'm just kind of throwing them on here just to kind of get an idea of how many I need, because I can see that there's still some open spaces, and then I'll have to go back in and rearrange them. That's what I do oftentimes when I'm making these wreath layouts, is I just kind of put it around the edges so at least it fills in all the gaps, and then I can rearrange to what goes where. I love this little butterfly club, but they're not really, there was no butterflies. So that kind of doesn't make sense for my pictures. And all those little guys just over there, I'm gonna put in so it's not just like a solid circle, but I just haven't gotten there yet. Let me start with this. And I'm gonna start by, this is a wide one that can only be read at the bottom or at the top, because on the side it gets sideways. And it's awkward to put it like this because it just sticks out. So I'm gonna start with that at the top. And I am just gonna try to put things in here, kind of just organizing them by color. That's mainly what I'm doing right now, is color, because I don't want like all the green ones to be right next to each other. So I'm going by color and by what fits like in the little spaces. So let's see. And this little sleeping bag too, again, it needs to stay like flat. It looks funny like that to me. I mean, it might not look funny to you, but to me, I like it like that. Let's see here. I really do love this butterfly. That looks a little awkward. Let's see if I can stick a flower in there. That looks pretty nice. And again, it's just like trial and error. I don't want to get all the teeny tiny things down here either. I'm going to keep like some bigger and some smaller all the way around. So I'm kind of going color, size, and color, size. I don't know what the third thing that I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Color, size, and shape, I guess. Yeah, the shapes that need to be, that call for certain areas, and then color of everything so that the colors is spaced out, and then sizing. This, what is it called? The flashlight is super versatile because it can be used like in many, many directions. So that's why I keep moving it around, because it can just be used facing basically any direction. Okie doke, let's see here. I think I need another tree in here. A couple more flowers down there. I want to put a flower in there with that tree. This is definitely missing something. I've got so many little flowers in between here and not enough over here, so I think I'm gonna have to take something out of here and spread these guys out a little so that I can add in flowers and whatnot. Yeah, it was just a little too full right there. And I think that this looks better. I'm gonna put a little flower there. I've got a couple little flowers here. The reason that I took out this is because it was this dark green and we have kind of a lot of green, and I wanted to keep this yellow in there. Okay. And then I can come in here with these little tiny baby flowers and sprinkle them around, because let's not forget that they were the daisies. The girls, Girl Scout troop was the daisies. Do I need to move my picture? Do I want my picture to just be in the center? To like just really shine? Or maybe just go down here. I like my picture off center a bit. And then I can put some sort of title. Okay, guys. What I think I'm gonna do is get all of these things down around my circle here. And then I'm gonna switch. So I've got a bigger blue one and a smaller pink one, and then a bigger pink flower here and a small teal one, so that the size is varied a little. I still feel like this is a lot of little pieces down here. I just am trying to get everything really balanced so nothing looks odd. There, I think that's a little bit better. Okay, I am gonna go adhere down all of these pieces. I am gonna pop some things up on foam tape. I'm gonna pop the things that are on the very top up on foam tape around here. So I'm gonna come back at the, after I get that adhered, and I'm gonna tell you what I popped up on foam tape. And I'm not gonna adhere my picture quite yet because I might move it around a little. So I will be right back when I get all of these things adhered down. Alrighty guys, I think I got everything, but this is popped up, this is popped up. These two aren't adhered down yet because I don't know where I'm gonna put my picture yet, and I didn't know if I was gonna need to put them over the picture. This one's popped up, this one, this one, this one, and this one. But when I'm looking at everything, this one needs to be popped up too. So I know it's probably impossible for you guys to tell on camera because, you know, it's just two-dimensional, but in real life, you can definitely tell that they are popped up on foam tape, and it needed another little pop right there, and now it's so much better. Okay, so while I'm doing this, I want to put the name of the Girl Scout camp on my layout, and it's Camp Whispering Pines. And I think I'm just simply going to use my alphabet stickers and just put Camp Whispering Pines. Before I do that, this was a long time ago, and I'm going to make sure that that was the name of the camp. So let me go make sure, double check. Okay, it's for sure Camp Whispering Pines. I just don't know where I want to put my picture in here. Like, I just have a hard time putting it in the middle like that because I usually want things a little bit asymmetrical. So I think I will put it down here off to the right-hand side, lower right-hand side. Now I have a little space to put my title, put some journaling. And I can put these down. And then I'm probably not going to add too much more to this layout because it already has a lot. So I think I will go off camera, and you know, I think I want to put the word camp for Camp Whispering Pines. I think I want to make it a little bit larger than these. So I think I'm going to look to my alphabet from another month and see if I can pull the word camp from another alphabet, and then I'll put Whispering Pines in these little tiny letters. And honestly, let's see, I might just put it, I think I like it on this orange. I'm going to stamp it right onto that orange, and I'm going to cut apart the letters like little letter tiles, which you have seen me do on other layouts, but I also have a process video, which I will link in the description of this video, so you can see exactly how I do that. So basically I cut a 1/2 inch strip off of a piece of paper, or you can use a branding strip, and then I stamp the letters and cut them apart and make little letter tiles. I'm not gonna make you watch me do all of that. So I'm gonna go off camera for a minute and try to find a font to put the word camp, and then stamp Whispering Pines, and I will be right back. Okay guys, I just pulled thickers that were in my stash. They are from an old Not Just for Boys kit. They're called Max thickers. They're from a Playtime kit. It was years old, okay? It's not available in the store anymore. The thickers you probably can't find anywhere right now, but I know people are gonna ask what thickers they are, so I'm just letting you know that that's what the word camp came from. I'm pretty certain, you know, I try really hard not to pull a bunch of stuff from my stash when I'm making my process videos. Like, I tried just to work from the kit, but I needed the word camp, so I just had to pull it from my stash. And I venture to say that everyone probably has some thickers or alphabets, or you could die cut the letters of an alphabet or stamp the letters stamp the word camp or something. I think I'm gonna kind of leave it like that. I'm gonna make the word pines overlap my picture. I'm gonna put whispering close to it and just pull it all in. So while I'm adhering this down, I'm going to keep talking. And I want to start, I'm going to start with the S at the end because I know where I want my word to end. So this layout is fairly complex with the wreath, but it's fairly simple besides that. Like, the wreath is plenty of embellishing, and I don't feel like I need to add a bunch of other embellishments to this layout. Just my little title, and then I probably will make very, very short journaling strips, and I will put them down this side, like right here. They will be very short, not this long. So imagine if my journaling strips were going sideways and they were tall instead of narrow and wide. So maybe I need to make another template of journaling strips and put some narrow ones so that I can show that on a page better. Let's see what else. I don't think I want to add, oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my little pearl mix and see if I can add some tiny little pearls in the center of some of these flowers. There are some white pearls in here, but I think that they're bigger. Let's see what I've got here. I know I'm all over the place right now. That's not quite big enough. So you can still see the yellow. No, I think I need the little teeny tiny baby size. And in this pearl mix, I think that the ombre ones are the baby size and the teal ones are the baby size. Let's see. So if you wanted, you could go in and put some of these little baby pearls, halfback pearls, on your on some of your flowers. And I actually have a set of white pearls. It's just all white. And I might use them since it's the daisies and I want all of these flowers to look like daisies. So let me get this. I'm doing too many things at once. Okay. So I'm gonna get the rest of these words down and I'm gonna put the daisies in, or the white little centers, or maybe I should use yellow since daisies are technically yellow in the center. Yeah, maybe I'll put yellow, light yellow ones in the center. Okay, let's not worry about what color I put in the center, but you can come back and put yellow in the center of your flowers if you used flowers on this page. If I was making this page right here about Cub Scouts instead of Girl Scouts, I would probably omit like all of the floral and the butterfly. I wouldn't put the butterfly and I probably wouldn't put any flowers, and I would just find other little pieces from the sticker sheet and the ephemera because there's tons of things that aren't flowers on here, like the little cup and leaves and trees and sprigs, and it would just be probably a little bit more masculine if it didn't have all these flowers. But so that's how you could kind of make this layout look a little more masculine. And then if you're liking the feminine layout here, this just reminded me that don't forget that we have our virtual classes every month. It's called Hearts and Flowers, and I work basically from things in my stash, so I don't work from the kit, just work from things in my stash, and I've put together a little class with the cut guides and instructions and a video, and I think most of them are probably going to include a digital cut file as well that I designed. So that's called Hearts and Flowers. And for July, I can tell you right now that I am using the Fancy Pants 4th of July line from this year on that one. So in case you have that, you might want to check that out. That will be, the July class will be available on July 1st with the July release. But right now, the June class, I used the Simple Stories New Summer Sunny Skies, I think it's called, layout for the June class. So you can pick that up anytime. It's just a digital download. So, okay guys, and then I'm gonna get this word camp down, and then I think I'll go off camera to put all the little tiny pearls in the flowers, but I think that is gonna wrap up this layout. So if you are inspired by my layout, whether if it was to pull out your Open Skies kit and use it, just like I did, or maybe you are just inspired to pull out your kit, or maybe you were inspired to use your kit to make another little wreath. I mean, we have tons and tons of embellishments left from this kit that we haven't touched this month. Or maybe you were just inspired to pull out your stash and recreate this layout using your stash. We would love to see it on our Not Just for Boys Kit Club community Facebook group. Okay guys, I feel like I want to add one more thing to this layout, because you know me, I'm always adding little things. I think I want to put the stitching stamp around the edges of this layout. Okay, and then I got this Salty Ocean color, but it might be a little bit too bright. I might need to use the Evergreen Bough color. Let's see. That's why I got a sample piece of paper to just kind of test it here. Maybe Peacock Feathers, because it's a little more teal and not so bright blue. I think I'm gonna try this, and this might work. Oh yes, this is gonna be perfect. So I am just gonna come around the edges with this. And I kind of am gonna overlap them a little, so it just looks stitched back and forth. Actually, I'm gonna flip this stamp over to do the other side. It's just looking like I took a sewing machine and stitched back and forth across the whole layout. Okay guys, and that is gonna finish off this layout, and I like it, and it looks a little more finished right now. I kind of even want to put a little around my picture, but it's kind of too late because I already, you know, adhered everything else down. But okay, and that is finally good for this layout. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in a couple days with my Style Your Scraps video. Okay, bye.